Today's video is sponsored by YouGov. Start earning extra cash today by clicking the link in the description of this video. Hey y'all, it's me, Bus King, and welcome back to Hot or Hot. And today we'll be reviewing episode 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Series 5. Our fish and chips across the pond were challenged to give their best celebrity impersonations in Snatch Game, which yes, means we'll be living, laughing, loving, and learning today. And the runway category was Heart, the anatomical body part, on. And that's on science. First up and in the order there on my notes sheet today, Ginger Johnson, the other Ginger, who for Snatch Game did Dame Barbara Cartland, who, according to Wikipedia, was an English writer of romance novels who apparently published over 700 contemporary and historical romance novels and sold over 750 million copies of her books, according to some sources, or possibly more than 2 billion. The Wikipedia fact check girlies are fighting, I guess. I don't know. And one can only wonder, or suppose, that Serena Chacha, infamous reader of books, has surely read one of her books. Anywho, Ginger's Dame Barbara was funny, but was kind of a slower burn for me. Because my first overly critical reaction of her performance was that it felt very studied of prior Snatch Games. Like, it was giving Binda La Creme doing Maggie Smith a little bit. And generally speaking, overall, this character Ginger was doing really could have been, at least in my uncultured US swine eyes, any older British lady. Because typically for Snatch Game characters who do super well that I'm not aware of prior to the Snatch Game, I do leave at least with an idea of who this person is uniquely in the world and their personal characteristics. But this generic take on this character was entertaining enough for what it was, and most importantly, she was consistently funny. So I'm gonna give this a hot. And over on the runway, it do take nerve, and she is gonna dig through the anatomical body parts of her heart until she finds it. Girls, she said, science diagram. These are the parts. Here's my valve, here's my atrium. Here's my handle, here's my spout. And it's very camp, which I live for, but the fashion of this look, I think, needed just a couple of adjustments. The proportionizing that she did with the shapes of that atrium in front of her, and then the valves around her neck are a little suffocating, I think, on her body, and kind of make her shape disappear into one giant four-chambered mess. And girl, specifically the left ventricle, we'll call it up in the front, it's like curling down in such a way that just unnecessarily makes her look like really frumpy there. And she's not. Well, what can we say? She's got a big heart. Can't be too mad about it. This look is hot. And next up, it's DeeDeeLicious, who in the challenge is playing Lady Colin Campbell, aka Lady C, who, and yes, I had to pull out Wikipedia once more on this one, but I learned that she is an author, socialite, and television personality who has published biographies on Diana and Princess of Wales, and who actually is quite the prolific YouTuber herself. Like, girly is spilling gossip and tea left and right on her channel, uploading like almost every day. Go off. But back to Dee. Her Lady C was not great. It seemed very focused on a very particular instance in time where Lady C was competing on that I'm a Celebrity competition show, in which, yes, she did have to identify bugs by putting them into her mouth in one of the challenges. But like, why Dee focused in so laser-like on that one moment in this person's time, I'm not totally sure, especially because the gag of what she did with like eating a little spider on her arm or whatever really didn't pay off. So I'm gonna give this performance a rot like the bug she ate. And Dee is so interesting. Also, we see flashes where she's funny, like in her lip sync performances that we'll talk a bit about later. But when it comes to executing funny on demand, she's struggling just a little bit. And I think she's got a general uncomfortability with her character that she is coming into on her own time. Next up. But first, do you like money? Because I do. Which is why I'm so thankful for today's video sponsor, YouGov, who helps me earn extra cash just for sharing my opinion online. Just click the link in the description of my video to get started, and then start earning points by completing short surveys like this one, which is asking if I prefer cats or dogs. Cats, obviously. And then is asking me how often I buy gifts for my cat. She's spoiled. Earning extra cash has never been easier. Complete surveys before bed, while you're binging Netflix, or even while you're in line at the supermarket. Then, when you're ready, redeem your points for cash or gift cards to some of your favorite retailers like Amazon, Best Buy, and Apple. That's right, YouGov can help you earn some easy extra cash this winter that you can spend on things like a new wardrobe, your daily pumpkin latte habit, or maybe even a cat toy. Just click the link in the description of this video to get started earning extra cash today. Thanks YouGov for sponsoring today's video. Her runway. Her makeup is especially gorgeous tonight, I did want to note. And so I did. No, she actually gives the judges this little like side look on the runway. She's like, yes, I own everything. And that was the superstar that I know is inside of her. Or I'd like a superstar inside of me. However, this look just wasn't really giving fashion in the way I think maybe she hoped it would, and kind of gave the epitome of here's a bodysuit corset with some stuff glued to it. Like for real, it's a red bodysuit with some heart-shaped objects and a prayer that she's not gonna end up in the bottom attached. But worst of all, it's just boring, so I'm gonna give this look a I've got a lot of asterisks on my thoughts about DD tonight because she is somebody who not only makes costumes for herself, but other drag queens. And it seems like she would have a tighter hold on the perspective of how she wants to present on something like the runway, but it's not presenting. But the fire under her ass may be lit. Next up, Vicky Vivacious, who for her Snatch Game did Fanny Craddock. All these names. I get crucified for all of my British pronunciation in the comments anytime I make one of these videos, so do your worst, mama. I don't care. You'll never convince me that British people say things correctly. It's not right. We originated the language. So Miss Fanny had a multi-decade career as a TV chef in the 60s and 70s, which, my God, makes her one of the first TV stars ever. And in this little clip I found on YouTube, she is here seen cooking what I can only describe from my uncultured US swine perspective as a giant turd. The hell is this, y'all? Talking about putting butter on your sandwiches, and now you're cooking giant turds for Thanksgiving. All due respect to Miss Fanny, what the hell is this? Anyways though, Fanny seems like a lovely lady and chef in her own right and country. And watching these little clips of her, I can 100% understand why she's a character that Vicky wanted to parody. However, she brought none of the ingredients to make this performance funny to the Snatch Game. I can appreciate that she saw where the comedy could be. It's just that she didn't understand maybe how to totally set up the idea for the joke about this no-nonsense cooking that she wanted to play on. This performance was a on the runway, she's giving a really sickening take on a Queen of Hearts inspired runway. This look is actually visually stunning because what she do with the shape and the rouging and the shouldering of that cape juxtaposed with the tightness of the catsuit and all the hearts up and down, matching perfectly the makeup and hair. It's a good look. And I also like that it was a very unique take on this Queen of Hearts thing. So we've seen this time and time again. I mean, hell, we basically just saw DD do a loose take on this last week. Let loose. And my only critique on this look is those giant white chunky lashes, which kind of really just blend into the white makeup that she's got on her face. And I wish she had have done a black lash base just to make those eyes pop a little bit more with this look, but it was a risk and overall it paid off. So I'm gonna give this look a And next up, Toe Mara Thomas, who's doing Robin Williams, may he rest in peace, as Mrs. Doubtfire, one of his characters. And Mrs. Doubtfire, if you don't know, she's possibly one of the most famous examples of drag in the mainstream next to somebody like, I don't know, Medea. But when the gays do it, it's wrong. Think about it. Tamara's Miss Doubtfire was really interesting, definitely entertaining, and very twisted. But twisted with what? I'm not 100% sure. Allegedly, there was a southern accent in there somewhere, but I'm still waiting to hear it. Hey, y'all. But somehow all the craziness that she was stirring up on this panel worked in her favor tonight. The Mrs. Doubtfire part of what she was doing felt very correct. A very literal interpretation of who Doubtfire is. Without some of that tongue-in-cheek comedy that I think she then executed on with that southern twang. Like for example with the dry comment, which came out very proper, but then devolved into complete insanity. What she did tonight was that runway though, oh my God, no notes. She wrote the book. This is immaculate. This is perfect. This is runway perfection. She comes out in a traditional nurse's uniform, you know, the one they give out at all the hospitals. Red latex boots, sparkly glittery white top, which reveals with some beautiful red corsetry that is rhinestone beaded and hearted on for filth. And we see she is literally carrying her heart on like a chain, which is a fun little dark interpretation that she's got going there. But my God, seriously, she is so gorgeous in this look, and this outfit shows off every beautiful inch of her heart. This look is hot. And next up, she's sweet, she's sticky, it's Caramel, who in the challenge gives us a little Dionne Warwick impersonation. And fun fact, she is apparently, according to Wikipedia, the second most charted female vocalist during the rock era and ranks among the 40 biggest hit makers between 1955 and 99. Legends only. And Kira's performance as Dionne was okay, but what was even better for me was the nerve that I think it took to kind of stand up to Rue in a way and stick to her guns on doing this character. In the workroom, RuPaul was asking her like what her favorite song by Dionne is, is and is explaining that he listens to her every single day and is a little stunned, shocked, gagged when Miss Caramel can't even name more than like her biggest hit ever. And she just smiles and nods and then does the character anyways. As I said though, what she did in Snatch Game was like correct, maybe. Which is to say, I think she has a decent grasp on Dion's personality and how that translates to some things like facial smiles and mannerisms. But it was very literal and there wasn't a lot of comedy baked into what she was doing. And if you really listen to what's going on in her responses, like one of the bigger jokes in her part was actually something RuPaul said. Kara brought up egging LaToya Jackson's car, to which RuPaul says, well, that's a good friend of mine, as you know. And she's like, well, yes, I know. And then RuPaul says, but that won't stop me from helping you egg her house. But what she did was a very safe. Her runway was great though. Her and Tamara, they are doing it for me. They are really killing the runways. And they're not only killing the runways, but actually dying for them. Their hearts. Tamara was carrying hers around on a chain. Kara is over here eating it. She said, let me have a snack. And she has multiple hearts dangling from the chain around her waist, which is giving me like vampire zombie countess with all the hearts of the late lovers she's collected along the way to get to this point. And I just gotta point out, Kara every single week does a great job of going head to toe with her looks, like the way those red crystals in that white wig are emulating the white and red dripping stuff on her boots. The flavor tastes like iron. This look is hot. And next up, Kate Bush as Kate Bush in a bush. And Kate Bush, as you may know, is a famous recording artist since like the 70s, I don't know. And she's kind of famous or infamous for being a little quirky, a little different, a little not like the other girls. And also, of course, for, you know, running up a hill or two. Thank you, TikTok, by the way, for educating the children. But Kate's Kate. It was interesting. I mean, I can't say I wasn't entertained, but it was like one peg below great, which is a shame because Kate Bush is so damn funny. It's just that I think she's really, really good at writing jokes and delivering them, which doesn't always translate to the improv aspect of Snatch Game, as we've seen time and time again. Like, you could visually see her thinking through the things she was saying about, like, going out with the Cray twins and Rue and the guest judges to Wuthering Others Heights, making a joke about the song Wuthering Heights, but, like, failing to actually deliver on the comedy of it. And if she had just said, like, one sentence less each time she responded to something, I think this actually would have been a lot more successful, but it was still entertaining, so I'm gonna give it a safe hot. And over on the runway. Listen, her hair and makeup are improving, and we should celebrate that, so toss one back. Unfortunately, though, there's nothing that can be done about the runways she brought, which she acknowledges in a confessional saying that she has accepted she won't be the fashion queen of this season because she's got what she's got, which is a great point. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about what she's got and what she's wearing. And what she's got and what she's wearing this week, she says, is a Jean Paul Gaultier reference to the iconic sailor look, which, you know, had the cologne and all that stuff going on. And, ma'am, this is a t-shirt. She's wearing a t-shirt on the RuPaul's Drag Race runway. And a striped t-shirt does not a Jean Paul Gaultier reference make. This look was a rot, but even more entertaining than I think what she thought she was serving on the runway tonight were the comments from the guest judges and Michelle. The guest judge said that she could only describe Kate's runway as cute. And then Michelle said that she had a thing for revealing to the mediocre. Thank you, Michelle Visage. And finally, Michael Maruli, who in Snatch Game tonight does Catherine Tate as Bernie the Dirty Irish Nurse, which is this character in these BBC sketches who is raunchy, potty-mouthed, inappropriate, and generally like causes chaos in her hospital wards, both with patients and other staff members alike.
If it's more than a mouthful, it's a waste.
And after watching some of these clips of Bernie, I wouldn't say that Michael necessarily did Bernie, but what she did was funny. Like, she 100% captured the, I think, inappropriate raunchiness of this character with responses like finger blasting, but then she definitely took some liberties with all the snorting and chortling, and it was entertaining, I won't lie, but I didn't really see the character Bernie doing that all the time like she was. And overall, I'd say what Michael did here was really hot in the first half of the Snatch Game. The second half of the Snatch Game, though, she switched characters to who? I don't know. I don't know which of Catherine's Tate characters she switched to, and she didn't really have an explanation for why the switch occurred or change on her little card what her character's name said to help give the audience a reference point for what was going on. And it felt like she, when studying for Snatch Game or whatever, was like, what do the really good Snatch Game performances do? Oh, they often have multiple characters. I'm gonna try that. And she should have just stuck with one, my opinion. That's what we're here for, right? My opinion. And my hot, flexible body. So yeah, half hot, half rat. And her runway was another interesting look. Lots of interesting things tonight. Her inspiration for this look was, let's do something I've never done before. That she did. Something probably not she or any other person ever has done before. And in that sense, I really liked this look. She is literally a giant black heart walking out on stage wrapped in chains that has this little reveal moment when she hits the end of the runway where her hands pop out and they're red. I was like, okay, I get what you're doing here. But it left me a little confused. Like I was like, why is the head not red? Why are the feet not red? And why does the bottom part of the heart costume, why does it literally look like a like this costume is giving Michael Maruli at a party capital T, passing around party bottom vibes. And you can reach my heart, you can have it. This look is hot. And as for who takes the win this week, it's Ginger Johnson, which didn't really surprise me. This Snatch Game was good. It was entertaining, but probably not in my list of like favorites. There were just too many queens who came so close to being so funny and probably should have been funnier, but just didn't quite get there. We were a bit edged, if you will. But yeah, because Ginger was consistently funny, I think she deserved it. And in the bottom two tonight, we've got DeDeLicious and Vicky Vivacious, who I also would have picked for these placements. This felt like a pretty cut and dry episode as far as placements go. But considering their lip sync, I did react to it over on my Patreon at patreon.com/BussyQueen. That's my members only website where my Patreon family can help support the channel financially and get access to exclusive content like those reaction videos. And you can become a member of my Patreon today by clicking the link in the description of my video. See you there. But as for what I actually thought about the lip sync, DeDe devoured. She ate. Fork and knife, cut it up, ate it, grabbed the spoon, cleaned the plate. She ate Vicky up and down, which really gagged me because Vicky is like seasoned pro performer. But here's the thing with Vicky. I think that she spent so much time in this competition being in her head, which we saw on Snatch Game cause her to freeze a bit here and there and generally not be funny. But she spent so much time in that headspace, and it happened even here in this lip sync. Like she's so focused like on what DeDe's doing during the lip sync, like looking at her, trying to get some moves off. And she's just so concerned about that and not about the raw performance of what she's delivering, that it ultimately, yeah, cost her the lip sync. And again, DeDe, props to your mama for this lip sync. This was really, really good. And as for my hottest hots, on the runway, I'm gonna give it to Tamara Thomas. And in the Snatch Game, well, I didn't give anyone 5 hot flames, so nobody. I did also ask my patrons though to vote on their hottest hots, and this week they've chosen Vicky Vivacious. And for the challenge, Ginger Johnson. And finally, I want to say thanks so much to you for watching today's video and to give an extra special shout out to today's video sponsor, YouGov, who can help you earn some extra cash just for sharing your opinion. Click the link in the description of my video to get started earning today. And I want to give an extra special shout out to Nicole Arnold, who's just joined my Patreon at the highest tier, and Ashley Brungart, Dorothy Hall, Felicia, Frankie, Jeffrey Steenberg, Laura, Matthew Burns, Sharkies, Stephen Topher, Tyler Hendricks MD, and Will and Tana, who are all supporting me at the Bussy Queen Collector tier. See y'all later. Love ya. Bye.